Hey, streamers. You've made the world laugh, cry, cheer as one. Most importantly, you've made the world watch. And for that, we want to thank you. Today, we honor the ones who put in the work for the love of the game.
Cutting the feed in 5.
You casted aside your individualistic dreams and came together as one voice.
4.
We need more time. It has to be now. Get ready.
You trained them to mash that subscription button and to come back for more. Always more.
2.
They try to be you. They envy what you have.
1.
And to celebrate, we're releasing a limited time edition skin of what?
You don't know me, and I can't see you, but whoever you are, you need to hear this. This started off beautiful. We built something great, something that brought us together, a place to call home, to talk, to learn, to play, any respite from the world and its unforgiving storms. And then they came.
My face on the screen now!
They came with their plans, with their greed, with their hope. They told us that we were great, and they were right. They told us that we were worth something, and they were right. We are worth something. And it's that same big, beautiful truth that they used against us. They didn't inspire some huge cover-up, some grand conspiracy. They just simply whittled away at who we used to be. So I say it ends today. Boost this signal and then log off, shut down, touch grass. Don't forget that we did this before. We did this before, not them. We can build it again. Build it better. With autonomy, with creative freedom, with fair compensation. We choose where we put our time, where we put our love. The rebellion has a new name.
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
A future where we forge our own path at our own pace, where we compensate ourselves fairly and protect each other from hate. They thought those things wouldn't matter, but they do. And we'll do it without them. Together. Today. Spread the word. From here. How far we go, who escapes with us, we control that outcome. It's up to us now. For the love of the game.
See, there we go. There we go. We're coming in hot. We're coming in hot. What's up, JD? What's up, Jark?
Hello.
Let's see. Here we go. We got one. Hey, there we go. There we go. What's up? Let's see what else we got popping in here. We got Joanne. Boom. We got hey. There we go. We got a full house going on. How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Let's see here. I'm gonna get our cool chill music going on. There we go. There we go. Let me pop that a little bit. There we go. A little background music. How's everybody doing?
Well,
Yeah,
Doing
I'm doing
great.
good. Hey, we got let's see, Silent Brad, No Skills, Venix, Michael in chat. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. I know we got more folks joining in now. So this is our first town hall officially of open beta, right? Let's see. Boom. There we go. I got some questions we're gonna go through, some topics, and some suggestions. So for everybody here that's joining us live on stream, Joanne, Jark, JD, do you all want to introduce yourselves real quick? Because I think you've been on stream maybe once or twice before, but this would be a good time to say hi to the new folks. Introduce yourselves. Who wants to go first? I will go with Joanne.
Hi, my name is Joanne. I work on product here at Moonbeam. What else? I love video games. I love RPG games. Recently obsessed with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So if any of you guys play those games, hit me up in chat. Yeah. What else? What else, Anthony?
No, I mean, hey, we're excited. And you used to work. Where'd you come from?
Yeah, I used to work for Twitch. I was
There you
the
go.
PM for chat, and I also used to work on subscriptions and Turbo. So
Nice. All right, let's go to Jark.
Yeah. Hi, Jacques. Design at Moonbeam. Also used to work at Twitch with Joanne doing chat and trust and safety. So there for 8.5 years, almost 9. Games. I just finished South of Midnight, which was incredible.
Nice.
The fighting mechanics is a bit gets boring after a while, but the story, music, art, voice acting, just incredible. So highly recommended.
Nice. All right. JD.
Hello, everybody. I'm JD, head of engineering. Also go by Moonbeam JD on Moonbeam. And what else? Oh, I'm not from Twitch, but I did previously work at Amazon, so
Kind of, maybe. Kind of
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, I understand a little bit about what may be going on there. But yeah, and then when I was there, I worked on cloud gaming. On Luna was the name of the service I worked on. I was working on other stuff too, but that's the most recent thing. And I'm also the owner, and I stream regularly on the Balatro realm here on Moonbeam. So I don't have to tell you what my favorite game of late is, because it's that one. 'Cause that's what I play mostly. So yeah, come by and say hello if you ever see. I'm streaming Mondays and Thursdays there.
Really, really good game you got me addicted to, by the way, JD. So thanks for that. Pat, you want to say hi to everybody? You're back. You're like fading in and out of the ether for a little bit, but we summoned you.
Yes. Yeah, fingers crossed that continues. I see that my camera resolution is like super low on the stream. So I might need to dig into some settings here on this website. But yes, hello. Super excited for the town hall. Let's see how long my camera holds out. And I'll be around in chat if it just drops.
Awesome. Well, no worries. I think we have Aria might be joining us in chat as well. We might have Brandon and Michael stopping by as well. Hey, Cap, how you doing? Good to see you. Anomaly, what's up? I see some folks. Cloud Surfer. I'm glad we're getting a packed house tonight. This is cool. So we're just gonna dive into it because we want to respect everybody's time for being here. We want to thank those who filled out the form. And I want to kind of contextualize some things here for folks that are joining us. Maybe this is your first town hall. Our approach to a community platform is to actually act like one, right? And what that means is sometimes we're going to be here and you're going to ask us really awkward and difficult questions, but we owe it to you to answer them honestly. Okay. So like we understand that there's things that you're going to want to know. And normally it may make us a little bit, I don't want to be on camera answering that, but we owe it to you because you're trusting us to be here. And we want to be good stewards of that trust. So there are some questions and topics and suggestions that I'm going to go through that were submitted in our form. If you have any, you can put them in chat and we can kind of get to those too as they come. So let's go to it now. First, I'm going to go question, topic, and then feature suggestion. I'm going to kind of go in that cadence. So, all right, first one here. All right. When will there be an update to the web and textual interface of Moonbeam, such as forums, chat, and long-form posts? I'd like to be able to easily format posts and include other media ASAP. What do we want to? Who wants to answer that one? Let's tackle that one.
Oh yeah, we could. I can dive in. That is something I've been super excited to do. Markdown in posts, particularly like at the very minimum lists, right? That seems to be a big request. But also like headers and these sorts of things, just from the Markdown side, would be awesome. We've talked about this. One of the complexities with it is synchronizing how it looks on mobile, like on the mobile app and on the website simultaneously. So kind of timing that release. Right now, it's difficult to time that release to make sure it all like works well, and that the editing experience of posts is the same across the mobile device and the web browser and the mobile web browser. So really just kind of like figuring out the logistics of that has been the biggest barrier to shipping it. In terms of the other types of media, like posts or images or videos, links also, something we definitely want to tackle too, in addition to the Markdown. We knew it'd be important right out the gate. That's why we supported YouTube posts, like being able to like link to a YouTube video. But posts has gotten a lot more love than I think we anticipated. I think we can all agree on that one, which is an awesome evolution. So I think we posts are in need of a bit of a makeover. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll drop one thing here before we go on, but I want to get tips added to posts. That's my pet thing. I want you to be able to tip people with moonstones for posts. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah,
that'd be sweet. I'd love to see. Yeah, like you have a post and it shows like how many people tipped it. That'd be cool.
Yeah. You know, that'd be cool. All right, we have one here. Joanne and Jark, you all may have some thoughts on this one, but the use of tags and other metadata to organize and display Moonbeam content. So this is more of a topic. So I know we've seen a lot of people, I don't want to say a little, it's been a significant amount that talk about tags and tagging realms and tagging posts. What do we think about that? How do we see that come kind of like being integrated from your all's perspective?
Do you want me to go first, Joanne, or you want to take that one?
Go for it, Jar.
I have some thoughts. In general, yes. I think being able to categorize your content and allowing viewers and chatters and other users to find you, I think, is incredibly important. What those tags are and how we categorize content, I think in and of itself, that's a big challenge and how to do that properly. I think the sort of public realms we have now is a starting point. And as we see more content, as we see more just posts and videos and live streams, I think we'll kind of work towards how to help people categorize what they're streaming, both from games to cooking to walking out and about and touching grass to language and more kind of specific just metadata that just helps people find the content that they want to see. So I'm a big supporter of it. Doing it right is incredibly difficult, so it's not overwhelming.
Yeah, plus one to that as well. To add to that list of considerations for that, I think things like safety, making sure that bad actors are not using tags as a way to zero in on certain communities, certain community types to do bad stuff to. That's one. And then the other thing is to, right now, our platform supports English. Eventually, when it comes to a point where we start supporting multiple languages, you want to change Moonbeam in Spanish, you want it to show in Mandarin, right? Like tags need to also make sure that it works as we scale to more languages. So, short answer: yes, we want to do this. We want to make sure we do it right. And yeah, you will eventually see this feature on the platform.
Heck yeah. JD, any thoughts? Or Pat? Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. I'll let JD take that.
I don't have anything else to add because we talked actually a long time ago. We talked about post and tag or with tags and categories and things like that, and we had a lot of fun talking about it because it's actually a very deceptively difficult thing to get right because there's lots of nuance to it. So yeah, it's definitely room for it. It's just we have to listen to what you all think, and we have to sit down and just figure out, make sure we do it in a way that makes sense and is going to be good implement on the tech side, but also useful for you all. So,
Yeah, Pat, you were going to say?
Yeah, no, fully that. We had so many conversations around tags, and it's an interesting problem because it definitely, like, the importance of tags scales with like the amount of people on the platform and like the amount of content on the platform. Like tags can be a super helpful thing for discoverability. But since it is so core to the actual like discoverability part of the platform, and we have a lot of features like changing like left and right and like evolving, and sometimes features might get like walked back. It is one of those things that like, it would be really nice if we knew exactly what Moonbeam will look like at pace, right? Like at scale, like all the features that we'll support, and then we can design around that. But that's one of the real difficulties with tags is like, all right, do we make this at the platform level? Do we make it at the realm level? How queryable are they across the platform, across the realm? What can tags be attached to? It becomes like a Rubik's Cube that tries to like fight back the more you solve it. But it's good because it's a huge factor for discoverability, and we want to get all the wonderful content on Moonbeam into as many people's hands as possible. So
I'm going to kind of jump through some suggestions that are related to these just to put them up on the screen so folks who submitted them know that we did see it, and we're talking about it right now kind of tangentially. But one of them was a suggestion, which was ways to make stream searchable using hashtags, going back to tagging, right? That works outside as well as inside Moonbeam. Now, this was interesting because almost like a way to like have it kind of go to Google and search engines to be, linking back to the content, which I thought was kind of cool. We have another one here, Michael in chat. You kind of mentioned this earlier, and we talked about, but like being able to add pictures to your posts, stuff like that. I'm a big fan of that. And I'm going to do one last suggestion, and then we're going to go back to some questions. So this one, everybody's going to know what this one is when they see it. The dang sign out bug, and also more features for public realms. We have something on. JD's been working hard, and Pat have been working hard on this. In fact, they're using my account to get to the bottom of this because I believe mine is one of the most affected by this. So like for everybody out there who has the sign out bug, even me, I want to like find it and kill it and throw it into oblivion. So Pat and JD, who wants to talk about this? That where we're at.
I can say I don't want to, until we have a solution and get it fully working and all the issues ironed out. Don't want to promise anything, but we do have something that is currently in review that hopefully will go out here in the next day or two. That we think might help. We think they're basically, to put a long story short, not to get too much into the technical, we have been thinking about this issue because basically it's an issue around we have to keep checking to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you're not, because that's super important. We don't want people to basically be able to, if they figure out a way to get your account and get access, we don't want them to have access for a long time. So we're constantly checking to make sure that you are who you say you are, and that you are, you've signed in recently, or not just signed recently. You're the person who said you are, basically. And we've been thinking it in terms, a lot of it around just when that process happens, something crazy must be going on in such a small time. If you're familiar with the idea of a race condition, for those who have worked on technical stuff before, it's kind of like thinking about that. But actually, we kind of realized that there may actually be kind of the opposite, where things are taking a little too long. So that kind of opened our eyes for a second. So we have something that's in, we're reviewing the code change right now, and we're gonna put it out there. So definitely we'll let you know when it's out there. We'll see. We want to see if you all see improvements on that. And to the point Anthony just made, we actually think this might be impacting people who are actually some of our more active users, as opposed to people who aren't as active in participating in communities and things. So kind of strange there, but yeah, we'll let y'all know, and we'll definitely want to hear feedback to see if we see improvement when we put this out.
Nice. And then to the second half of this question or suggestion, Pat, for the public realms, I know we have some public realm owners in here. Shout out to those folks that are the public realm owners. We appreciate you. Do you want to just talk about when you build out the public realm? It's very light in terms of the features. We have this experiment going on with this first cohort of public realm owners, and how we are like kind of getting the feedback from them, so you can kind of build those out to spec. So you just want to like touch a little bit on that?
Oh yeah, totally. So public realms, honestly, what an evolution, because that was something that we talked about a ton. Like, we had so many conversations around those. Even the name public realm went through like dozens of iterations. And the purpose of them was, and it always has been, and remains to be, to like provide a really easy place for people to get started on Moonbeam. Like, what we're doing here is familiar, but different, right? It's very different than what Twitch does and what YouTube does, than what Discord does and what Reddit does. And it has flavors of all these other venues and all these other platforms. But when you just like confront somebody with a bunch of different things, it can be kind of overwhelming. And we wanted an easy way where people can immediately kind of get started with the platform and understand what a realm is, understand what these like community hubs could be and what they can turn into, without having to like go find a realm and then join that realm and then join the chat. We wanted it to be very, very pared down. So I always thought of these public realms as kind of realm light, you know, or like a very like a version of realm that is just kind of like, no, strip out all of the features and just provide that chat room, provide a place where people can post messages, post posts, stream to, collect VODs, sort of so on and so forth. And when we were talking about this, the question was, okay, this will be very, very cool. But is it something that's here for the like long term? Is it something that will stick around for years and years and years, and we'll have all these public realms? Is it something to sort of bridge the gap between where we are now and then like maybe where we'll be in 6 months, where lots of people know about Moonbeam and lots of people know what a realm is? Are they venues that Moonbeam will run and operate? Or are we going to let other people kind of own these spaces and build these spaces and cultivate these communities? So there was a ton of questions, just question after question after question. And each one of those questions affected the design of public realms. So we made the decision to keep it as simple as possible. And some of the public realm owners in the chat probably are aware of just how simple the kind of the back end is, and the features available to these spaces, just so that we can let the community tell us like what the value of this feature, of this kind of new approach would be. And so far, the community has spoken very, very loudly that they like this sort of stuff, that you all like this. So we are expecting to invest a lot more resources in kind of bringing public realms up to the level of like realms, with some additional functionalities, with like being able to join these spaces, follow them, get notifications from them, because they've just gotten a lot of love. So that's kind of the long-winded evolution of public realms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I see DJ Swayforth. Yeah, we agree. Features are light, right? Realm owner should encompass the meaning of that fully. Being able to do a lot with your realm. So public realms got to catch up a little bit, but they'll get there. So that is going to be something I'm looking forward to. I have another question here. We'll jump to. This one I think is a pretty easy one to answer. Will there be a way to track viewing numbers after you've gone live? Like, so this video is live, now it's a VOD. Is there a way to like an analytic? We could see like, you know, like 1,000 people have watched this over the course of a year or something like that. I mean, of course I'm going to be like, yeah, but I'm not the engineering team here. So, well, you know, just a spitball, like, yes, I believe that's the thing we want to do the analytics. When do we think that'd be, like, maybe more down the road or what?
Not sure when, but I will tell you that that's a really good idea that we did not have in our product backlog, and I just put it in our product backlog. So there you go.
Hey, I like it. See, there we go. Right. Town hall stuff makes it happen. There you go.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, I kind of want to chime in there too, to like kind of like plus one to that. The way I think about the creator dashboard is a lot like when you're driving a car, right? Like when you drive a car, you want to get from A to B, and you need to have like all kinds of important information about the health of your car while you're driving on your dashboard itself. That should not be like the main thing that takes you away from getting from A to B, but it should give you enough information that you know how well your driving is going. And at the end of a trip, a lot of modern cars these days would have things like, this is how far you've driven, this is how fast you've driven, this is how fuel efficient you are, or more energy efficient if you drive an EV, right? So similarly, like when you're streaming, the like A to B part is like your actual streaming itself, but we need to make sure that you are provided enough controls and enough information about your streaming activity so that you can take more control about yours of your streaming itself, right? So things like post-stream analytics, so you know what sort of moments that riles up your audience and gets your audience excited, and what moments may be a little bit more lull, maybe more dull, that people may drop off more. Like things like that would help you get your streaming career, improve your streaming career, so to speak. So absolutely something that we should consider, that we will consider moving forward.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think we do have this, or a version of this currently for clips. We wanted to kind of experiment with tracking views and seeing how we can do it well from like the backend side of things. So yeah, that might be something we can roll out fairly quickly for like VODs, even for like posts and comments and these sorts of things. But yeah, we'll definitely want to +1 that. Plus, I think +5 that.
There we go. There we go. I have one here. This is going to be a spicy topic. But I appreciate this. It's just Moonbeam and AI baggage, but the comment was very insightful. And it was from someone who said the biggest hindrance they've seen, like trying to tell their friends and other people about joining Moonbeam, is our use of AI, right? It's very off-putting to a lot of folks. So when they hear about that, the people are just like, nope, that's a no-go for me. And they asked, you know, do we believe we'll continue to use AI in the way we're using it? And how do we think that'll impact us? And I kind of want to take a first stab at that here, if that's okay with everybody. You know, this question has come up when I've talked about Moonbeam on Blue Sky and other platforms. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again here. It's not a topic that I really like talking about. Now you'll see we'll say like our AI moderation system, and we've made a very purposeful choice to use that language when we talk about what we're doing, because we want to inform people of the reality of what's going on here. There are a lot of people who don't like AI, especially like generative AI, which we don't use. And they deserve to not be a part of any platform that uses anything they don't agree with, right? But we use it ethically. We use it for moderation. What I like that we're doing is we're honest about it and transparent. And I'll give you an example. The folks I run across that have had issues with this on Blue Sky, they don't know that Blue Sky uses AI for moderation and then some. Twitch uses it. Facebook uses it. X uses it. Every social media platform, Discord uses AI. If you search their policy, they have a very small, obscure place somewhere on their site where they say, yes, we do use AI, and it's used to train models, sometimes even generative content, and stuff like that. I feel like if we were a restaurant and we're serving food and there was a vegan, I would never want them to eat meat, right? And I feel kind of like what's going on with AI and this kind of taboo and baggage is a lot of platforms are hiding that. And they're serving meat to people who don't want to eat meat, but they're not telling them. but we're going to tell you what's just very transparently. Hey, this is what we're using. We're trying to be, again, very good ethical stewards of it. But honesty, we talk about how businesses make bad decisions because they want to chase the dollar. We're going to be honest, and I know that it does cost us some people. I know that. But honesty and being candid and transparent is more important to me, I think, and to our values here at Moonbeam. So for the rest of the group here, I know it's a deep, awkward, again, it goes back to that town hall. We're going to have some deep, awkward stuff we got to talk about. But what do you want, if you want to chime in, well, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have a few cents, maybe more than just 2 cents on this topic. I think film snobbery, sort of, I hit the nail on the head that I think AI as an assistive tool, I think is generally more accepted than something that will replace creative artwork or anything. And I think this is similar to the assistive in that I think our AI moderation should be viewed as a way to help you as a creator and your moderation team. I don't think it'll ever really replace the moderation team because there are definitely a lot of nuance in how you want to moderate your community and sort of the decisions that you make. So I think I'm hopeful that we do a good job at building something that's helping there versus being in the way or a hindrance. I think obviously getting feedback from the community on what we build, how they use it, is it sort of helping them? I think it's kind of the critical path forward. I was going to say something else, but now I forgot. But that's my 2 cents.
Thanks. Anybody else?
I could say something, but it's not necessarily about Moonbeam itself, but it's about partially involves the creation of Moonbeam, which is coming from the engineering background. AI is really being disruptive to the engineering field right now. You have a lot of thought of like, oh, the one extreme of it is, oh, well, now software engineers don't need to write code anymore because all these different LLM tools will write all the code for you. And I can say, as somebody who has started to work AI into my workflow, is that's absolutely false. At least, definitely right now, and probably for a very good long while. You do need somebody to kind of guide it. But I think the point is that if you're also thinking about if you're thinking about like, well, we want a product that's 100% free of AI. If it's a software product, like the entire field of software engineering is going to be using AI from this point forward. It's like, it's not going to go away. And there are definitely some concerns. There's a lot of both ethical and even just in terms of like the quality of the code being written and like, where's the learning how to write this code? And is it going to get stuck doing, writing bad code and we're going to have a whole new set of problems? There's a lot of stuff. It's a very complicated topic, and I'm not going to take over this town hall just to talk about this topic. But I'm just going to point out that, like, even in the software engineering creation side of anything that's doing anything software related, AI is going to be here, and like, there's just no escaping it. And to not start thinking about it and figuring out how to use it effectively is going to get you in a lot of trouble, and you're going to fall way behind from the rest of the industry. So, but I'll stop there because I could go on about that for a while.
Pat, you want to touch on this? You're the man for
the AI guy. No, I think that's like, I'd echo everything you all say. Like it's an interesting thing to think about. I mean, in a historical context. Oh, hello.
Oh, she makes an appearance on the.
Yes, let's go.
Oh, yes.
Hello. Oh, I want a badge of her.
That'll be a one-off badge. Only one person can have a badge of her, and that'll be me.
That's fair. I respect that. But no, it's like an interesting historical evolution because what is AI, and is it LLMs, or is it these diffusion models? Is it all this other like recent advancements, or is it just ways of making decisions automatically at scale? Is it neural networks? Is it adaptive filters way back when? And it's technology that has like always been part of software, but is now of course blowing up and now gets in many cases like a rightfully bad reputation. for disrupting or attempting to disrupt like creative industries and that sort of thing. And yeah, like absolutely jeopardizing the work of artists and photographers and musicians, right? But these use cases of understanding toxicity, like understanding that an image contains something that is not suitable for children or not suitable for a general audience. Those are very, very good use cases. And AI is getting better and better at solving those use cases. That won't go away. And I'd expect that in the far off future, when maybe a lot of like the hype has faded away from AI, and with it maybe some of the bad use cases, people wouldn't want the protection that AI can offer to go away either. Like it can make your experience on the internet, communicating with strangers functionally, like much better, much safer, much more fulfilling for you. So I think there are bad use cases of AI. I will always maintain that we're not one of them. But I also think that the conversation will continue to evolve, and we'll see a lot of like nuances, especially over the next couple of years when that hype cycle naturally kind of fades away.
This goes to a question then Cap said, well, this is a good segue for Moby. So Pat, you're where are we at with Moby and stuff like that?
Moby is admittedly on a bit of a pause. We brought him out. We experimented with like a bunch of the back end to get him up and running. I was very excited by the reception that Moby has, but there were more pressing concerns about like the site infrastructure and stability that had to kind of come first. So I'm excited for Moby to continue and like be rolled out in a more accessible way. Not too sure when that will be, to be honest. Moby does really, really well in a lot of situations, but voice assistants classically, like when they miss the mark, it's such a frustrating experience. And we don't want Moby to start hovering in your chats on the wrong booster, so to speak. So we need some more experimentation to make sure that those use cases are really fine-tuned. But if you all like Moby on Moonbeam, get in the chat, and like we can maybe try to roll him out some more as we evolve him, as he grows, so that way it's not completely stalled.
I'm wondering if everyone in chat knows what or who Moby is. Maybe Pat or Anthony, you guys want to give like a one-liner introduction on what he is, who he is?
That's a great call. Yeah, that's absolutely a great call. Anthony, take it away.
Yeah, so Moby is he's your little buddy that's there. We kind of learned by forcing ourselves to stream to feel what it's like to be the average person on that's streaming. Over 50% of streamers don't get any viewers, and it was very demoralizing for all of us on the team to like know that I have to stream today and no one's there. It just sucks. Like it was kind of like funny because we built moderation out and Pixis out so much, and it's like I have all this protection, but there's no one even to protect me from it. Like it was just I felt very sad. And then also for like being the one viewer, it's very awkward sometimes to be the first person to chat. And so Moby is there to help make streaming fun. Even if don't have a lot of viewers, you're having fun, and it listens to your voice and will respond to you. And eventually we have plans to help it moderate with Pixis and maybe make clips for you. And it's your little buddy. Yeah, Pat, right? Is that anything else to add on that?
No, yeah, he's just a little guy. That's like the Cliff Notes version.
Just a little dude.
But yeah, just a companion that listens to your stream and hangs out with you. When you hit like a lull and like maybe chat isn't as active, or maybe the person who was like really driving chat has to like step away from their computer, something to kind of fill in that gap. And so yeah, we experimented with him in a couple streams on Moonbeam, and it was really fun. It was like really nice to see. he picks up on some like really interesting things,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
makes it like quite entertaining. Yeah, it's a good
Sweet.
time.
So we have this. This is a good question to segue for the team here. I think it'd be interesting. How has developing Moonbeam affected your expectations from start to now? That's a hefty question, but I think one you all would be it'd be fun to hear your perspectives because we all came in at different times. Who wants to go first? Should I? I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. You know, I'll talk. Why not? You give me the mic. Here I am. Um, I think, you know, Pat and I started working on this now February 23, over 2 years ago. Um, and it was really just moderation for streaming. And it was because all the social media platforms, that was like the beginning of the end. They were all dying and a lot of hate. And I think what was the most interesting thing that you know, my expectations was seeing how there's really a need for something entirely new in the creator ecosystem. Um, Not just a clone of a streaming platform, but kind of what we've done here with Realms and collaboration. And my biggest surprising expectation is when we're here now today, like there's 35 people in chat right now. That's amazing. Like that is we're top 1% streaming right now. Period. Um, there's people from all over, from different genres I never knew existed, and people who feel the same way we do that something better needs to exist. And it's kind of wild to think that all of us right here, we're here instead of Discord, we're here instead of Twitch, we're here instead of Twitter or X. And that's kind of mind-blowing. Like we believe for different reasons, but fundamentally at the same time that something better has to be out there. And to me, that's like the biggest, like, wow, like, holy crap. Like, it's one thing for Pat and I to have a crazy idea and think it's going to work. But then we've got Shark to join and Joanne and JD and Aria and Brendan and Michael and so many people. And then all of you, I don't know. That's my take. It's just, wow. Damn. I don't know. What do you all think?
I will go, I guess. Yeah, so as I mentioned, you know, I was at Twitch for a long time, and the first few years felt very special to me and always will, just because we were building something impactful, and it's that similar feeling to building Moonbeam in that it's different from what is out there. It is an incredibly difficult challenge, both from technical engineering, from design, having to support a million and one things that the community wants, but still allow a space for people to come together and crowd around, you know, topics or creators or just each other. And I think still have a very long road ahead of us because I think there's a lot of stuff that we could do. But I think just seeing the community grow, seeing more and more people stream, it's, yeah, I mean, it's incredible and always will be. So it's been an awesome experience.
Oh, yeah. Joanne, JD, and then we'll do Pat last. Pat, you'll go last. You'll capstone it.
I can go really quickly. So I used to work for Twitch, and I was the PM for chat. If you guys are familiar with Twitch, chat is like a place where a lot of wonderful things can happen, but also a lot of like bad things can happen. When I first joined the team here at Moonbeam, one of the biggest anxieties I've had to like lived with is that what if people use Moonbeam chat for bad stuff, right? And a lot of it's coming from a place where like I've seen chat on Twitch get used for really, really bad stuff, and it creates a lot of like animosity amongst people in the community. And just like seeing how everyone is building communities together here on Moonbeam has made me feel like there is a lot of hope in humanity. And I, yeah, just love how people are actually good people. on our community. So
Oh yeah, agree. JD.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think about, especially when we were kind of like, especially the first, like after we had the backer kit and got the initial, we got the closed beta out there. And I had that feeling as being part of a team, from an engineering perspective of delivering something like that, having like a big task thrown at you and just working on it for months and then going crazy just to get the thing out, and then you get it out and you're like, oh my goodness, it happened. We actually did it. But what's a little bit different for me with this go around is that usually I've done it in the auspices of working at a large company or even a semi-large company where like there wasn't really a worry about, oh, if you build it, they're going to come. It's like, it was just, oh, you build it. We know we got people who are asking us, like active customers asking us, we already have a user base. But this was like organic. This is like not, this was not like, oh, we had like hundreds or thousands of people or tens of thousands of people who are ready to use this product right now, so go build it. This was like, go build it because we think this is actually what people need and what people are going to want. And so I think that's what's kind of fascinating about this for me, is just to see like the organic and the continued growth of it. Just came out of the effort and came out of recognizing this need here. So that's really awesome, and it's just every day. I mean, I think several of us have said many times after going through like, in the alpha where like we would have like a couple streams here and there, and then into closed beta where usually in the evenings we'd see streams, and then now pretty much 24/7 there's somebody streaming on Moonbeam now, which is just that still can get over that feeling of like you can go on the site anytime there's some activity going on. So really awesome to see that, and can't wait to see just how far we can take this thing, because I think it's going to go pretty darn far.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, 100%. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I think you can.
Is this possible?
Does it like? Yeah,
I think.
Let's see here.
Okay, I don't
Yeah.
know what pops up. Let's try this.
Let's see. I have to maybe go. Let me do
Yeah.
this view.
All right,
Let me
sweet.
see if there's a view here. Hold on. Is there a way to show your screen?
I will.
Are you sharing it? Are you sharing it right now?
No, okay, I'll click the button right now. But the
Yeah, click the button.
preface will be, yeah, like everything you all have said, fully agree with. I think this kind of this thing I'm going to share kind of paints the picture to me, like most viscerally. This is the first stream on any software that like we as a team wrote. This is from February of 2022, probably. I'll need to check this out. This is a screenshot of literally like the first stream on any software that we wrote. It was a while ago.
Let's see here.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
add you to the
share.
scene. I'm adding you. Yep, there you go.
Okay, sweet.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
yes.
So
I
you can
remember
see it?
this. Yes. Holy cow.
I need to figure out. Okay, I think this is right. Yeah. So you all can see the screen, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Holy-
there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So this was like early, like the earliest proof of concept that we did, that we had. And I remember this because it was wild. Like it was so like, whoa, like we're doing it, like we're building this platform, and we have all of these like dreams about what it will be and how it can like help and what it can do for the world and for the like streaming industry as a whole and for all the creators that we know and that we love. And it was so crazy to see this thing like come to life on a stream, and like you can see us in chat. I think we still actually use the same usernames, which is wild.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. But going from that, I actually don't know how to stop sharing, so I'm not going to. Oh, there we go.
There we
Stop
go.
sharing. Going from that to the platform where we have like 36 people in the chat, you can go on to Moonbeam at like any time of the day and see content. There are clips, there are posts. I think that like my expectation has changed with this, where it's like, okay, yeah, we need to like go build all this stuff. We need to build, and it'll just be building. I'll be designing, and I'll be like thinking about this, thinking about that. But what really like, I think the biggest difference from that screenshot to like what we currently have is one, a great deal of engineering and design, but the community, right? Like truly the people behind the software that make it actually come to life, and what that can do for a space, like how there's like organic growth that JD mentioned, and like the community that Joanne mentioned, and like that hope that Shark mentioned, how all of that kind of crystallizes and actually creates a community that is like vibrant and involved and engaged in chat. I think that's been like the biggest surprise to me, is like going from that screenshot to here. It's not just like, oh yeah, like, we had to write a lot of code. That's it. We did. But truly, like the adoption from the community and the excitement around it is something else.
Hell yeah. No, I'm there with you. You all are the biggest expectation. Everyone here and in chat. Little heart emoji. So we have a very serious question next. This one's one of the most serious we have. And it is, how tall are you, Anthony? I'm very tall. I'm gonna stand up. As you can see, I'm a very tall guy. I was 4'2". I'm just average. I'm average, 5'9". My wife will tell you I'm 5'8", but hey, I'm owed the extra inch. Gravity, right? It keeps me down. But let's see here. We have a good question next.
5'9" definitely is average because I'm also 5'9".
There we go. 5'9" crew.
Oh.
Hey, yeah.
It's the perfect height.
Let's see here. Will there be voice chat for Realms in the future? I'm a big fan of yes on this. Pat, this was not me submitting this question, just so you know.
I will need to see the receipt.
Yeah, now I'm a little suspicious at you and you said stuff.
Anthony wanted to brag about his height, submitted the next question, and then moved on. I don't know what's going on.
What do we all think about this one? Who wants to talk about it? Yeah.
I'm a yes. It's something that I think would be great to support. I have fond memories of being on voice chat with people I've never met in person, but having amazing experiences. Yeah, it has some safety issues and all that, but I think generally, I think there's a lot of use cases for Realms to support something like this, both from people wanting to play together, but maybe there's a way for creators to have people can call in and ask questions and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm a yes.
Okay. Anyone else, Joanne?
I'm a yes, but we need to make sure that the right safety controls are in place. Last thing I want is for Moonbeam, which is a safe space for communities to build relationships and connection and belonging, to be a place where bad actors come and harass people, and not just harass people, but also use it as a way to organize bad things IRL. So we have to make sure that we are putting in the right controls to ensure that you guys are using the platform and you guys feel safe on the platform. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. I have this kind of touches on something. I think some good questions in chat. I'm gonna kind of hit a few ones really quick just to kind of knock a few out. Multi-realm streaming. Do we have any updates on that?
Yes. Yes. That is in parts of it are in code review. We're actually like quite close to getting the whole thing kind of like ready to go.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there are any like specific outstanding items. No, I think it's kind of ready to go. As of maybe a couple hours ago, I got a message about a pull request that's ready for review. So it will change some things. Like it will definitely change the way moderation is handled in the stream specifically. So right now, like any stream in a realm has the moderation go through the realms settings. So if if like the realm says like, oh hey, like no profanity is allowed now, and so like if you send a message in that stream and it contained profanity, Pixis would flag it, the moderator would approve it or not approve it. whatever the moderator wants to do in that situation. But now, actually, when you're streaming, since you can stream in all these realms, it's kind of up to you as the streamer and the creator there to set the moderation standards and work with the realm to talk about like what sort of content, community, and language is supported, allowed, encouraged, maybe something to be avoided, so on and so forth. So now the user will get, the creator, the streamer in that situation will get moderation settings, much like a realm. And the streams will pop up wherever you kind of set them. Following the community's advice, we're going to do, you can stream to one public realm and one private realm at a time. And then when you're streaming, and I'm super excited about this, the stream will live on your profile. So if you link your profile to your Blue Sky, or if you send it to your friends in Discord, and you're streaming, they can go to that profile and see your stream. So it'll be a big help for like getting your friends on the platform, and also just having like one URL that you stream to. So lots of stuff had to be undertaken. JD can probably attest to this. In all of our engineering stand-ups, I was like, oh no, it's fine. Like this will be super easy, like no problem at all. And yeah, it'll take like a couple days. It has taken several weeks. It has taken several weeks and a great deal of thought. Changing the system has helped us build a better system, frankly, a more modular system, which is great. But yeah, definitely some unexpected turbulence.
I like how JD's like looking at the camera. He's got something to say.
Famous last words. If any engineer says, "Oh, it'll just take me a couple of days," run for the hills.
Yeah.
I always, whenever somebody says, whatever you tell me an estimate is, I always say you should double it. Just double it. Just start with, that's your first way to revise your estimate. Just double it.
Yeah. Lesson learned on that one for sure. That was that was an experience. And big shout out to Aria in the chat. Aria's been putting in a ton of work on the user moderation settings. And so Aria actually messaged me earlier today and said that it's ready for review. Yeah, should be launching soon. As always, I now expect, that review will take more time than I'm initially estimating, but I'd expect to see multi-realm streaming pretty soon.
And I'll touch on co-streaming was mentioned, Michael in chat. So co-streaming would be something we can't do anytime soon because it would require us to be involved with broadcasting the footage itself and then like putting them together. So until we have like there's been talk about us eventually having like our own app, like a Discord app on desktop. Maybe that would be something then down the road. But we'd probably need to get that first. So I love the idea of co-streaming. It's just we would need to get into the business of being like an OBS or a Restream, like a broadcasting tool itself. We're not quite there yet. I got a few things here. I know we're coming up on an hour, and I want to be respectful of folks' time. There's a few that are related to video quality. And asking when we would be able to get those out to the experimental backers. Here we go. I'm going to put it right there. So video quality for experimental backers when, Pat, I know you and I have talked about this, and I kind of want to be cheeky here, if you don't mind. So the reality is Pat is the one who has to one by one go through and update that. And there's a lot of like just time spent doing that. And a lot of folks in our backer kit are not using, they don't really need to use that, I guess. So it would be like Pat doing a bunch of work, hit and miss. So it's kind of been on the back burner, but we want to get it out. And I know it's important. So if you're in chat right now and you were a backer from Backer Kit, put it in the chat that you want it. And we'll prioritize you. Pat, can I say that? We'll prioritize you and we'll upgrade your account. Boom. Like in the next 24 hours, maybe? What do you think, Pat? Next 24 hours?
Yeah, we
how about by Monday? How about by Monday? How about by Monday? How about by Monday?
JD, do you feel comfortable giving an estimate? I'd say maybe 24 hours. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, so for what it's worth, we do have a mechanism that we have in code review right now that will help make this really a much easier task for us to set this up for folks. So I think if we can get that out, we can actually do it pretty quickly. So, I think so. If I say tomorrow, I need to double that to be. So we'll do Monday. We'll say maybe by Monday we can get that set up.
Yeah, if you were one of our backers and you had the experimental tier, I think that was the creator tier and above. Just say you want the 1080p, really good, nice, crisp stream, and we will upgrade your accounts. And then once the other stuff is in place that JD mentioned, that everybody else will get it. But you're here tonight, and you get dibs. That's what you get for being here. Let's see. So there's that. I know Jark has to leave in 5, and I know Joanne and JD, if you all have to jump, you can as well. I'll probably just hang around just a little bit over to make sure we get all the questions answered. Let me pop over some. How about this one? Being able to raid at the end of a stream would be great. That's a suggestion. We've heard this one a lot. I think we're all thumbs up on this. It's just a matter of one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
100%. Yes.
There we go. All right. Let me see here. We have, I think we're coming to the end of our questions that I had.
There was one question in chat that I just want to touch on briefly, and would love to hear y'all thoughts too. It's from Film Snobbery. I'm just going to call you Film because your name's a bit long. But you had a question, and I'll just repeat it. If I invest a bunch of time and effort into developing my brand and bringing my audience here, what are the chances that this whole thing doesn't go away overnight? How would the sale of the company affect the user base? What is the end game's exit strategy? I think my answer here is we're in it for the long haul. I think we want to build something that people can create their community, build a brand, make a living off of. No one can tell the future. I think there's anything can happen, but I think everyone on the team is in it for the long run. We're not here just make something big, sell it, and move on to the next thing. I don't think anyone's here for that. So, I'm hoping that we're able to build something where people can really spend time building their brand and making a living off of, and we'll do our best to continue doing that. Just wanted to address that.
Great answer. I agree. I'm just saying that's our ethos coming into this. We don't talk about exiting. I know that's a startup thing. When are you going to exit? What's your plan? Our plan's to make, excuse my language, but the best fucking place on the internet for people. Like, we're building this because we don't have any other options ourselves. It's abysmal out there. So I'll let that speak for itself. Pat, anybody else?
100%.
There we go.
Oh, what was that, Joanne? Sorry.
Oh no, I just said plus 100,000%.
Yeah, plus that. I would say you're lucky, Anthony, that Moby isn't listening and isn't teamed up with Pixis yet. So I'll have to let him know to be on the lookout.
Yeah, you would have been moderator for that comment. I do want to just. Oh, fully. Sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I was just going to say I agree with that and entirely. If you build a community on Moonbeam, I mean that's a great deal of trust that you're putting in us and a great deal of faith that it will be around. And will it be gone overnight? I mean, like startups do pop up and fold very quickly. Markets are crazy. That happens, right? But it's not going to be gone overnight because we're just like running off with the bag. That's not the way we intend to run this and intend to grow. We don't think that's a sustainable way of growing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I know some of you have to leave, so I will give you a moment to say your goodbyes if you do have to jump, and then I'll close it out with whoever wants to stay for the last closing comments. But floor is yours, Jark, JD, or Joanne, if you have to jump.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I have to hop off, but I think we should do these more often. It's always fun engaging with the community, and just wanted to thank everyone for listening to us talk for the past hour. Sometimes I've got to deal with these guys more often than you two, so it's all good. But wanted to thank everyone for participating, and it's always just fun engaging with the community. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jark.
Bye.
Yeah, like same on my end too. Like I love doing this stuff. I'm very encouraged by the positivity in the community. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with hearing our voices for the past hour. I hope to hang out with you guys again sometime soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Joanne. Take care. All right. Just see JD. Are you good for hanging out with us for the last few minutes? All right. Let's see here. Yeah. What do we think about these town halls? Chat. Let us know what you think about these town halls. I'm curious. I think I'll go first, and then Pat and JD, I'm curious what you think. I talk a lot about like my background, and again, I ran for mayor, right? Like, so I see like community, and I remember one of the hardest things that was very important, but also very hard to do, was to like go door to door and just talk to people, like ask them what's going on, what do you need, I think we've lost that in tech. It's become not personalized. But hell, we're building a place for people to live and have a community here. And I think we owe this to them, and we owe it to ourselves to do this. Like, I want this to feel like a real town hall. Like, you all have a say, you all have a voice. This is, we are a business because we can't be a government. Like, that's like that, like I would love to govern the digital space with you all. And we're going to do that. But, we have this opportunity, I don't know, to have town halls and connect. It feels human, and I love it. I don't know. Pat and JD, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, muted.
I'm always down for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
Oh, after you.
I was gonna say I'm always down for hearing from the community, because I think I've said this like on my. I know that it's a Belacho stream, but I usually end up talking for a few minutes about what's going on in Moonbeam anyways. I always say there, it's like I keep sending us feedback, keep telling us what you think, because one of the hardest things about any kind of startup environment is that there are I like the saying, there are 100 things that you can do. There's 10 of them that are really, really important, and you have time to do 5 of them. And that's always kind of a mantra you have to have. So the only way we can figure out what those 5 things are that we can go attack first, and then what the next 5 are going to be after that, is to hear from you all. So I like, this is any forum we have for that, I'm completely down. So I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd echo that 100%. I think it's important. I think it's fun too. It's also, it's really fun. Like, it is objectively really fun. It has been like so cool seeing the engagement in the chat and the questions come in, and like the inside jokes and the like. It's really cool to see the community around this and hear kind of what's top of mind, because that, like, there's not a guidebook. Like, when we don't have just like we don't have a manual on how to build a streaming platform. That doesn't exist. If it does, do point me to the link. I will send you some moonstones for that, for sure, because I want that resource. But it's really, it's community driven. It's like the bug reports, right? It is like, oh, we use this, that was really frustrating, didn't like it, let's fix it. It's that sort of stuff that really drives the entire kind of startup right now, the entire vehicle, everything, like every aspect of what we're trying to do is driven by that. So big fan.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to close it out. Chat. Yo, thanks so much. I think we packed a lot into an hour. I think it's been great. We owe some due outs for us. I'll go through chat. The folks who were here for the upgrade, that'll happen. Multi-realm streaming is on its way. And Michael's not here, but as you see, the mobile app got a lot of love. So I do want to shout out Michael for the mobile app, and that'll continue to get developed. And I saw Brandon in chat earlier. Hey, Brandon, I know he's working on some UI stuff for Realms to look a little bit more neat with their VODs and streams kind of in a carousel, so you can see the posts also right underneath without having to scroll infinitely. But thank you all so much. Like, you're all a huge, critical, amazing component of Moonbeam, because you are Moonbeam. Like, Pat showed that first picture, right? You know, from a couple years ago, he and I doing the first stream, and that wasn't anything without the people who make the community up, and that's everybody here tonight. So thank you. I can't wait to continue the journey and see where it goes. But again, thanks from the bottom of my heart, because there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into this, and you all make it worth it. JD and Pat, or JD, you want to go in there, Pat? Final comments from you, and then we'll call it.
Well, don't have too much to add other than thank you all for coming tonight, and I'll say the same thing I say on my streams. Keep using Moonbeam, keep telling people about it, get the word out. If we, assuming it sounds like we're going to do another one of these town halls, let's see if next town hall we can get more, even more than, I think we, I forgot.
I think we broke the record. I think
was.
38 or 39. I think we broke the record. I think this was the biggest.
Okay, well,
I'm going
to challenge the community. Let's break the record for the next town hall. Let's keep it every, and not just selfishly because we want to stress test this thing, but also let's just see how many people we can get on here at once. So, but yeah, thank you all for your support, and keep working hard for us, and we'll keep working hard for you. That's all you can say.
Pat.
Yeah, very agree with that. Yeah, thank you all so much. Seriously, this hour is like flown by. Actually, it is sort of weird that it's been an hour. And truly, like, that is, yeah, it's just amazing. Like, it's so cool to see the chat being this engaged, this many people kind of tuning in, and that is what, kind of going back to that other question, that is what keeps us around for just, you know, beyond overnight. If we can kind of continue to grow, to continue to get people involved in this like incredible community that we've built, that's really what gives us the fuel to like keep going, both like morale wise and like and then also being able to kind of have the business needs met so we can grow and we can continue developing. So just a big thank you all around to everybody for joining. This is a ton of fun. Very, very excited for the next one, and for the next couple weeks we'll have some fun stuff.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, what I'm going to do, because anomaly, you point out that the streams get cut off, so I need to do a little wait. We're calling it here. I'm going to put a little timer on so the ending of the stream's not so abrupt. So everybody, thank you. Good night, and we'll see you around on Moonbeam. Take care. Later,
See everybody.
Hmm.